Hi guys, and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Summer here, bringing you a hot or not on TAISHOU Otome fairy tale.
Creativity. So even though it's a slice of life, usually I say like, you can't really be too creative, but I think that they've actually managed to do this by having Yuzuki become Tamahiko's bride to settle her parents' debt. It actually gives an insight to how unscrupulous Mr. Shima is as well, and also it gives us insight into how interesting of a child Yuzuki is to make the best out of what is probably a terrifying and life-altering situation. She's had to leave school and all of her friends. A lot of things has actually happened in just the first episode.
I thought the creative aspect started from jump when they were describing what the word pessimism was, and it was totally wrong, but fitting. Basically, they gave you the pessimist answer of what pessimism is, and I thought that was hilarious. It was very meta, and I like that. Also, yeah, the whole child bride turning into a real bride thing was there. Lots of eatable sort of flexes all throughout the episode. It was kind of creative in that sense that they didn't turn it into fan service and weird nasty stuff.
Entertainment. So I was immediately entertained by Mr. Shima. Because of his harsh ass mouth.
Boom.
He was so funny. Okay, now I get it. It probably wasn't funny for Tamahiko. It was probably a little bit too much. But for me, it was hilarious. Like, how are you gonna just say this to your son? Like, you're good for nothing, you're trash, get out of my sight. And then, as if it wasn't bad enough, he's like, there's no one to look after you. I'll probably do something like, maybe I'll buy someone to look after you or something. Buy someone! Now, isn't the first thing like, oh, okay, I'll hire a maid, or, I'll hire some help. Nah, my man goes straight to, I'll just buy someone. What the hell? But it was entertaining.
For me, along the same vein, it was the whole fact that the whole family hated him, and it felt a lot. It felt like it was a lot, and it was a lot. I mean, you should have died instead of mom. Nice seeing you, good for nothing, brother. How lucky of you to retire early. Like, there were some bars in this show that I wouldn't even say to my enemies, and I'm one of these guys who always believes in the mantra. I said what I said, but these guys said it all, and I was like, you know what? There's some gems in this thing I might have to write down, fam.
Character development. Unusually, I actually thought that they did a really in-depth character development with a bunch of different people. So I'm gonna go straight to Yuzuki. So she tries really hard as if she's worried that she needs to remain useful. That's what I originally thought about her, but then when we saw her with her friends, they were all calling her the mom of the group. Whenever one of them got hurt, they were saying to her like, Yuzuki, I just got hurt, for her to sort of sort it out. When someone got their clothes ripped, they were like, oh, Yuzuki, help me out, and she sewed up their clothing. So it is actually just the kind of person that she is. But also, she kind of looked scared when she first met Tamahiko, as if she was gonna get hit by him. That's the kind of vibe that I got. So I feel like there is actually a lot of information that we don't have about her and her life, even though she seems like this really happy-go-lucky person. I feel like there's probably something in her life. I mean, okay, of course, she's just been sold, so, I mean, there's that. If your parents are willing to do that, then, but I'm saying that I think that there's something more that we have not heard about, and it's kind of going to probably be a little bit shocking because of how, well, for the characters, it's going to be shocking because she's such a happy-go-lucky person and so kind of free-spirited. She doesn't get down very easily. She's a really genuinely caring person. I liked her character. I thought she was really cute. And then we've got Tamahiko. He's extremely depressed and he is making sure everybody knows about it. He's so consumed by the memories of all of the things that his family has said to him, and he is very stunted. Even though he's supposed to be 17 years old, it almost seems as if Yuzuki is the older person in the situation because of the life that he's had and how much his family just really don't like him. He said he's never had a drop of love or care from anyone in his family or anyone at all. So it's very obvious why he's such a depressed person and why he is so combative when Yuzuki initially is being so nice to him. It's almost like he doesn't know what to do with all of that. And also I liked that although he's depressed and he's bottling a lot up, he actually, because I feel like it's because he's stunted, he blurts everything out to Yuzuki and says, you know, oh, you probably hate being here, you probably hate being with me. And he's definitely internalized all of the things that his family have said and done to him, and now he really truly probably does believe that he's good for nothing. He actually said that when he goes to sleep at night, he hopes that he doesn't wake up. It's deep, even though this is kind of like slice of life, happy song and everything. It's a lot, like you said, Big Boy Samurai, it's a lot. And then of course Mr. Shima, who is again hilarious. He's a terrible person and a terrible father. He does not hold back one bit. I love the honesty, but goddamn, that is your son, bro. Like, seriously, he is such a dick that the child bride that he bought to look after his son that he couldn't be bothered with anymore, he allowed her to walk in the mountains in the snow to get to his son. Like, yo, does he have any redeeming factors? I am not sure.
Yeah, Lucas said everything, bro. I do want to say something about Tamahiko though. He's a Shima through and through, because even in his depressed state, even in his melancholy, it's more melancholy than depressed because he's not quite at that rock bottom, I can't get up stage yet. He's at that melancholy, woe is me stage. So he's in his melancholy state. He's still very Shima, still very refined, very poised, very to the nose, very straightforward, and it's a testament to the way that they thought about the character and characterization as a whole. Yuzuki is amazing. She is very like honest, and it's that purity that allows him to open up slightly, and I'm guessing if she bombards him with love, he's just gonna keep opening up. Yeah, there are issues with the fact that she's very young and he's 17 and whatever, but there's nothing remotely dirty about this. It's purely innocence and purely emotion, so I'm here for it. It's actually quite well characterized.
World building. So I actually really liked the way everything seemed like an old TV. It was very grainy in the beginning, and then as soon as he met Yuzuki, she brightened up the scene with her personality, just the way that she is. I think that they represented that really well visually as well, and they have shown us mostly just the two of them, which makes it feel like it is really their own world. I hope that they show us like the village life, because I'm sure that it's quite a rural area based on what we have seen. The fact that she's had to give up school and everything like that, I'm guessing it's quite far away from the city or far away from schools and the like. But I do want to see more of the outside world in order for it to be built a little bit better than it is. Although I do think that for the first episode, in what they actually have done, that they did a decent job.
I'm left with a lot of questions. What do the Shima family do? Where are they? I know they mentioned the mountains, but that was it.
They may be loan sharks since they lent to Yuzuki's parents and then bought her to settle the debt.
Maybe, I mean, that is plausible, but also there's other little things as well. Like, why was Yuzuki's parents rich enough to send her to a boarding school, girls' school, and not rich enough to look after their household? Like, there's lots of niggling things that are getting to me, and I just want to know. And so I'm glad that the anime's done that in terms of letting me know, but I still don't really know where they are, and that's the kind of world building I feel it needs.
Plot execution. So this one is probably the weakest section, I would say. Obviously, we know that Tamahiko has lost the use of his arm and he's extremely depressed, and also Yuzuki has said that basically her aim is to love him and he'll love her back, and it's just a nice little happy dappy anime. And I think that it's mostly going to be about Tamahiko pulling himself out of this depression and finding an actual reason to live, because he really doesn't have that right now. He has nothing. He has no family, he has no friends, he has no one that loves him, and he's all alone in this house in the middle of nowhere. Again, like I said when we did our anime coming out, this is basically what the Duke of Death and his maid was trying to be, and after seeing this episode, I believe that that is completely true. It's the same kind of thing, you know, the love aspect, being depressed, being discarded by your family, and trying to find a way to be happy, but this is actually done correctly.
In terms of the plot, I feel like there's a lot of plots here, and I don't necessarily think that the anime will create a main plot, but I do feel like they will do plot by numbers and carry on giving us lots of subplots that will be resolved. I am hoping for a conflict. I don't see one happening this season, but who knows? It will be nice to see, but I can see a journey rather than conflict occurring, and I mean, if you're into that sort of thing in your anime, cool.
So, to the verdict, creativity hot or not?
I'm just going to say it out there, it's pretty hot for me. I feel like it was very creative, and I really enjoyed watching the thing as a whole.
I thought it was also creative. I like the take on this love story. A little bit weird with the age gap, but we actually still don't know how old Yuzuki is. And like I said, Tamahiko is very, very stunted, so he seems much younger than he is. I think it is definitely creative. Moving on to entertainment.
I was thoroughly entertained. I mean, like, Mr. Shima just killed it for me. Hearing all those negative things. Am I evil? Guys, am I evil? Like, literally, it made me laugh and I loved it. It was entertaining. Hot.
This is a hot because of Mr. Shima. He was hilarious. Also, there was other comedic things during the episode, but I would say that Mr. Shima definitely took the spotlight, and for a character that is not even a main character, he had a very small part in this to have such a massive impact. I think that they actually did a really good job of bringing the humor into it, and it was very entertaining. Character development, hot or not?
I feel like Ruka already taught this to death, so I'm just going to say hot.
This is a hot for me as well, of course. I think they did amazing in the time that they had to develop the characters as much as they did. World building.
Yeah, it's a not for me. I've got too many questions about the world. I don't think the world was built enough for me to understand where exactly this is or what framework they're kind of working in. And it might have helped with foreseeing what kind of conflicts might occur in the future.
I would say this is a hot because I feel like the world is their world. Between the two of them, it's not necessarily about everything that's around, and I think that's why they have separated them from like a city life or from others and put them in this small area. So I think that it's a hot. Plot execution. I
actually think plot execution is a hot. Now, there's no single plot. There's no like main vein except for the fact that she's trying to be the best wife she can possibly be. But that being the case, it's enough of a plot for me to go, you know what, if this was the central story the whole time, there's enough hijinks that can happen between now and the end of the season. So yeah, they've told you what the plot is and it's a hot for me.
Now with this section, I'm kind of on the fence because yes, I feel like we're not going to get much of a main massive plot as well. I agree with you completely, Big Boy Sama. But what makes me kind of not sure is I really don't know where they're going to go with it.
Is it a hot or not?
Okay, I'm going to go with a not for this section.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you have it. I have gone for 4 out of 5 hot. And Big Boy Sama has gone for 4 out of 5 hots as well. I thoroughly enjoyed this anime and I actually can't wait to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, same. I actually surprisingly liked it and it's not my cup of tea. And Ruka picked a good one this time, especially since last time she picked a rubbish one.
Well, so we both know what that one's going to be. It is what it is.
Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.
Let us know in the comments what you think of this anime if you're watching.
Peace.